Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Welcome to Sunday Wake and Stretch. Today I am feeling kind of Sunday vibish. Shocker. So let's wait for this horn to go by. Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's the train. That's what I hear is the train is running. Awesome. Glad to see society is flowing again, or glad to hear it, I should say. All right, so let's just get to it, huh? I don't know what I'm gonna do because obviously this is my intuitive practice. So I'm gonna jump on the mat and see what happens. The dogs are here with me, and they are going to do what they're going to do. Both Zeus and Loki are hanging out nearby. Sox is roaming around somewhere else, so you may see them at some point. All right, so grab any props that you may want to use. I always have my block on hand, and I'll meet you on the mat. Okay. So let's start in a seated position, however you feel the most comfy. We'll start with a brief meditation, so hands can rest wherever you'd like them to, on your thighs, in your lap, palms up, palms down, mudra, no mudra, whatever works for you. Let your eyes close and start to focus in on your breath. Take this opportunity to get a little more connected to yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, your body. Your energy. Where are you today? How are you feeling? Let deep breaths come as they will. Let a yawn come if it needs to. Gradually start to deepen your breath. Let your eyes start to blink open. And from here, take very little subtle movements with the shoulders. Maybe pulling them forward and back, a little contraction, a little arching in the upper spine. Or maybe you feel more like rolling them around. As I sat there and was meditating, I remembered I had such a tension headache yesterday. It was all from the shoulders, the upper back, chest, whole heart center. And it occurred to me that maybe we should do a little release for tension headaches. So this is the beginning, just to get the muscles, the tissue moving. Little contraction, little arching. Sometimes rolling isn't the best idea, especially if you're having pain in the pain in the neck. Yeah. Sometimes it can aggravate it a little bit. So doing the simple contraction and arching helps to open up the chest when you arch, and helps to stretch out the traps and some of those neck muscles when you contract. All right. So from here, let's take the arms out to the side to a T. And then take your right arm over the left and just give yourself a nice hug. Sitting up nice and tall, the arms can rest right on the chest. And gently lower your chin to your chest. Nice long spine otherwise, so the belly is supporting the lower back. And then from here, just give a nice gentle roll so that the right ear comes towards the right shoulder. Now, wherever you feel tension, you want to stay there and breathe for a couple breaths. And let the muscles do what they need to. Once you've reached the peak of that, allow the chin to slowly roll back to the center. And travel on over to the other side, left ear to the left shoulder. We're not looking for the deepest stretches ever, just a nice soft opening of the neck and throat. Once you've come back down to center, let the head come back up to vertical. Let the arms release and give just a gentle rotation of the neck, so looking right to left. Do your best to keep the chin parallel to the ground. You may or may not feel a stretch as you rotate. It's okay, as long as you're getting some movement in there. Sensation does not have to be intense. So coming back to center once you've gotten both sides, give a couple more contraction and arches with the shoulders. Perhaps getting a little bit more open on the shoulders, the chest, and the upper back. And then coming back to a nice neutral position, arms out to your side to a T, and switch whichever arm was on top. So I have the left on top now. Just a nice hug. Let the arms rest on the chest. Same thing, chin to the chest. Nice tall spine otherwise. And let's let the left ear gently roll over to the right shoulder. That was my left. Right ear, right shoulder. If you get any strange sensations, pins, needles, dizziness, lightheadedness, then ease off the stretch. It doesn't have to be as intense. It certainly is not our purpose. We're not looking for that. Just a nice opening through the neck. Maybe do each side one more time. Back through center, let the head come back up to vertical, gently release the arms. And same thing here, give a little rotation of the head from side to side. Just nice, gentle movement. And coming back through center. A little more contraction, a little more arching. I was now feeling, at least in my body, it's feeling a lot more open, a lot more mobile, less stiff. We also have prepared for eagle to come later. Let's hope I remember that I said that. All right, so let's move this cow and cat into the entire spine. Inhaling as you lift up, exhaling as you curl. So it's a much bigger movement now. Incorporating the lower back. Letting the pelvis move around, getting those cobwebs out. All right, take it one more time. And bringing it back to a nice neutral spine. You need to give a little shake out, give it a little shake out. And let's come onto hands and knees. From here, extending the right leg back, pressing into the heel, getting a nice stretch through the calf muscle. Belly starts to lift up and in, so engaging that core now. Hands are spread, stiffen the hands. This way they won't take as much, what's the word I want? You lessen the amount of pain that happens in the wrist when you stiffen the hands. Does that make sense? All right, gently bring the right knee down, switch to the other side. Left leg extends, ball of the foot tucked. Gently press back into the heel. This is a nice stretch for behind the toes as well, if you're shifting your weight forward and backward. Keep the neck long, make sure your head's not dropping. All right, so bring the shoulders now over the wrists. Secure that left leg, pull the belly in even more, and step the right leg back to a full plank. So here we're working on the strength in the shoulders as well as everything else, right? Because that's what plank does. Sometimes pain in the shoulders comes from weakness. It's good to strengthen and stretch during our practices. All right, from here, downward facing dog. Feel free to step the feet forward a little bit. If you want to stay in stillness, stay still. If you want to pedal the feet, pedal the feet. One more nice full breath here. And then inhale, lift the head, shift forward to plank again. You can adjust the hands and feet as you need. Move through your vinyasa. So exhaling down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Release the feet. Inhale, cobra or up dog. It can be tiny, it doesn't have to be big. It's our first back bend. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, up through tabletop. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. From here, coming back up into tabletop, I'm going to turn to face you so that hopefully I can explain this well. We're going to take the legs into kind of a gate pose. So left leg comes out to the side. Your right hand will be your, excuse me, your right hand will be your support under your shoulder. Your left arm is going to thread through. So you can walk the right hand forward a little bit and lean forward and thread your needle. Now this is more of the temple, just above the temple that's resting on the ground. So you're getting a nice spiral, a stretch through the shoulder blades, and an inner thigh stretch, all in one. On your next inhale, coming back up onto hands, take the left leg in and switch to the other side. So the right leg extends, left hand comes in front of the shoulder, right hand will thread underneath. Breathe into wherever you feel the stretch. On your inhale, coming back up, exhale where you need. And let's come into just a nice seated position. If you have a wall nearby, or you have a table leg or a chair that's a little bit on the heavier side, move over toward it. I'm going to use this lovely banister here. This is for a nice shoulder chest opener. So I'm going to take my arm behind me, see if I can angle myself properly here. About shoulder height. If you're on a wall, it's okay if the wrist flexes. And then start to rotate away from the arm. So you get a nice stretch to the chest and the deltoid. Be mindful that the chin stays parallel to the ground again. Once you drop it, other funky things start to happen in the neck, and we don't want that. We're trying to avoid the funkiness in the neck. Yeah. So to help the stretch a little bit, you can bring your breath up to the upper ribs, the upper chest. And the breath may serve as a extra stretch. And one more breath here. Now to come out of this, don't just drop the arm, move yourself back to a more neutral position. Then let the arm gently come down, turn the palms up on your thighs, and just stay here and breathe. Now I'll explain a little bit of what I'm feeling so that you know roughly what maybe you should or shouldn't. Although I don't like should or shouldn't, everybody's going to feel this a little bit different. But this shoulder now feels like it's actually in line. And this one feels like it's more forward, if that makes any sense. It might not actually be, but that's what it feels like. All right, I'm going to switch to the other side. So reaching that right arm back, and then moving the chest away from the shoulder so that you're opening up through the pec muscle. You may have to change the angle of the arm depending on the side. If this is your dominant side, it might be a little bit tighter. You might have to change the angle a bit. Nice full breath. Be mindful of pins and needles or numbness. You don't want those things to happen. All right, one more nice big breath. And gently bring yourself back to a more neutral position. Then let the arm release down, palms up on the thighs. Just take a few breaths. Hopefully the shoulders feel a little bit more even. All right, so from here, let's find our downward facing dog again. So I believe I said something about eagle pose or eagle arms. So we're going to play with that a little bit. Let's take a vinyasa first. Coming forward to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing. Inhaling the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Give it a nice twist just to open up the lower body a little bit more. Feel free to roll the top ankle, flex it, point it, dance around with it. Then inhale, straighten the legs, square off the hips. Exhale, step it through. Let's find warrior one legs. Inhale as you rise up. Exhale, settle into those legs and hips. If you'd like, you can bring your hands to your heart. Let's bring the hands now back to the hips for a little camel action. So my legs are going to stay in warrior. Heel of the hands on the hips. Inhale, lengthen through the waist. And then exhale, move into your camel. So it's a nice back bend. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Hello, Mr. Zeus. And then exhale, move into a humble warrior. One more breath. And then inhale, come all the way up through vertical. Hi, buddy. Woo. Exhale, release. Let the arms and the shoulders roll a little bit. And then we'll take eagle arms, as promised. So on this side, the left comes underneath the right, flip and wrap. Make sure that the upper arm is parallel to the shoulders. It's not resting on your chest, but it's up a little bit. Then inhale, lengthen up through the chest. Exhale, pull the front ribs together, abdominals start to engage. Try to find warrior three. And inhale, come up through vertical, let the back leg float forward, find full eagle. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Keep breathing. Untangle the arms, untangle the legs, step out to goddess pose, facing the left side of your mat. Bending the knees. Inhale, straighten the arms and legs. Exhale, goddess again. Bending the knees and elbows. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend, come into goddess. Guess where we're going from here? Half moon balance, so grab a block if you need it. Whoa, hello balance. Yowza. From here, float up through vertical. See if you can bring yourself into a parallel position. It's okay if it's not so smooth. And then both feet down to the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, Hastasana. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold hands down, step or float back to plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing cobra. Inhale the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, make it a twist. Stay here for a few breaths. Inhale, straighten the legs, square off the hips. Exhale, step it through warrior one. Inhale as you rise up. Exhale, settle into warrior one on this side. Hands can come to the heart if you like. We're moving into camel. Heel of the hands to the back of the hip bones. Shoulders roll back. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, find that back bend. Lengthening through the chest, the throat, heart. And inhale, come up through neutral. Exhale, release the arms and shoulders. Give them a little roll, a little rock and roll. Hands come behind, interlace the opposite thumb on top. Shoulders roll back, lifting the heart. Exhale, humble warrior. So I'm choosing all these poses because they help open the shoulders, the neck, the throat. The heart center, essentially, is if you have a tension headache, it usually comes from there. One more breath in, humble. Inhale, coming all the way up through vertical. Exhale, where you need, release the arms. Inhale them out to the side to a T. Exhale, find your eagle, right underneath the left this time, 90-degree angle in the arms, palms pressed together. Nice inhale, lengthening through the spine, lifting the ribs. Exhale, pull the belly and the front ribs together, find your warrior three. Inhale, bring it up through vertical. Slowly, slowly. And find your full eagle. And gently untangle the arms. Untangle the legs, step it back so that you're facing the right side of your mat. Find goddess, first star pose. And then exhale, bend the knees and elbows, working into those hips and thighs. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. few more times. And from here, we're going to move into our half moon. So find your goddess first, hand to the waist, shift your focus, and find it. It's okay if you're not in line with your mat. If you're on a diagonal, it's all good. It's more important to follow the line of your hip than it is the mat. From here, start to float upwards to vertical, bringing that back thigh up towards the chest. Whoa. Both feet down to the mat. Find your Tadasana. Now, if you want to straighten yourself out on your mat, go for it. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive it forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold hands to the mat, step or float back to plank vinyasa, down dog or child's pose. We'll stay in rest for a couple breaths. From here, lifting the head, coming up into tabletop. Walk the legs forward and come into a seated position. Let's let the legs extend out in front, giving them a good shake. Let's come into a seated twist. So right heel towards the sit bone, right hand comes behind. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, twist to the right, hug or tuck the arm around the thigh. Straight leg is energized, heel down, toes up. Be mindful here of the shoulders. Remember that sensation after we stretched out the chest. Be mindful they're not collapsing inward. Keep them nice and wide. Imagine hanging a t-shirt on the clothesline and it has some saying on it. We want the letters to be visible. So you want the t-shirt to be stretched out to the sides. You know, it's a nice little analogy. And on your inhale, eyes to the front. Exhale, gently release the twist. You know what? Let's Janu Shirshasana it. So bottom of the foot to the inner thigh, knee out to the side. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, give a little twist to the left, and then fold it forward. On your inhale, lift the head. Exhale, gently release. Let that right leg go. Let it extend, give it a full flop, and we'll go to the other side. So left heel now comes into the sit bone. Left hand behind. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, twist, and sit up nice and tall, nice wide shoulders. Straight leg is energized, heel down, toes up. And breathe. On your inhale, eyes come to the front. Exhale, gently release the twist. Open the leg, Janu Shirshasana, bottom of the foot to the inner thigh. Stay up nice and tall. Exhale, micro twist to the right, and then fold it forward. One more nice full breath. And lift the head, gently coming up to vertical. Exhale, release the legs out. Give a nice little shake shake. And then from here, let's lay down on the spine. And do grab any props that you might have. So pillows, blankets, towels, blocks. I'm going to take legs up on the props. So a restorative shoulder stand. That's the words I was looking for. All right, so pressing down through the feet, lifting the hips up, take your props or whatever you have and slide it underneath your pelvis. So you want it on the flat portion of your pelvis, the sacrum. Not the lower back, not the tail, but right in between. Then let your hips rest on it. Take a nice deep breath. And while you're here, you may feel some opening through the hips. You may feel some opening in the lower back. If you have pain in the lower back, which sometimes happens if you have herniations in the lower back, then ease out of this. If regular bridge feels better for you, do that. Or just lay with legs up the wall. There's so many different options to get an inversion. Yeah? So do whatever your body needs it. Whatever your body needs this morning. So if this feels good and you want to go a little further, getting the legs up in the air, all you have to do is extend them up. If your props slide out from underneath your hips, then they're not placed properly, or you're lifting your hips off of them. This is simply a movement in the hip joint. It has nothing to do with the pelvis itself. Yeah? It's a thigh bone moving in the socket. Just let yourself relax here. Yeah. Feel free to play with the ankles, flex, point the feet. It's just a habit of mine. I like to play with the feet up in the air. One more nice full breath with the legs up in the air. And gently ease the feet down to the mat. Stay in your bridge for a couple breaths. Press down through the feet, lift the hips, remove anything that's underneath you, and then gently lower down. Now you want to stay neutral here for a few breaths before you move. It's okay to feel the feels here. It's okay, you need to breathe through it anyhow. Then when you're ready, arms out to your side to a T and gently windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Coming back through center, let the legs extend long underneath you. And take your Shavasana. Do what you need to. If you're cold, bring blankets over you. If it's bright, then you can bring something over your eyes. If you want to be on a slight angle, you don't want to be flat, then place something underneath your spine. Focus in on your breath as you rest. If you'd like to stay in your Shavasana a little longer, you are more than welcome to. We're going to start to ease out. Start by deepening the breath. And find energy in the fingers, the toes, the wrists, the ankles, the hands, the feet. Let the arms extend over your head. Give yourself a nice long stretch. And then hug the knees in towards the chest. A little bit of a rock from side to side. And roll onto your right side, fetal position, bottom arm under the head. And gently press yourself up to a seated position. Eyes closed. Hands can either press together at the heart, or if you'd like to connect with your breath a little deeper, one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Take a few moments here to check in with your breath, your body, your mind, your emotions. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit better at the end of practice than when we started. And you know what? It's really okay if you're not too. But it's important to check in and see how you feel. Let's give a few moments here for some gratitude, something that we're thankful for right now in this moment. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. So thanks so much for joining me this morning on this Sunday vibe-ish wake and stretch. Yeah, so what are we're halfway through the month? I think we're halfway through the month. Man, time is flying. How is it that time flies so fast when you're not doing that much? Anyway, I am so grateful that you have joined me, and I really do hope that you're doing well, that you're going to have a beautiful day wherever you are. And I guess I'm going to sign off now. Please like and share the video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Sound good? All right. Bye.